Okay, so my project is wind energy. So, what is wind energy? The term wind energy or wind power is a process of which wind is converted into mechanical power or electricity. Mechanical or electrical power is created through the kinetic energy of the wind. Wind power availability is proportional to the Q of its speed, which means that the power available to a wind generator increases by a factor of 8. So, the faster the wind is, the more energy you'll get out of it. But people will raise the question, how does wind energy even work? Well, people will use wind turbines to convert the wind energy to electricity. A wind turbine is a device that stands on a tall pole with three blades attached. And the turbine's blades capture kinetic energy from the wind and turns into mechanical energy, spinning a generator that creates electricity. When wind blows past the turbine, the blades capture its kinetic energy and rotate the blades. That spin generates electricity. So the faster the blades move, the more electricity is produced. Also, with wind turbines, the bigger they are, the better. And there are two specific reasons why. The first is with bigger rotors and blades to cover a wider area. That increases its total potential production. So if you can see in the picture below that there's nothing around the wind turbine to destroy it or disrupt it or anything like that. The second is to get the blades higher where the wind blows more steadily. That increases its turbine's capacity factor, which allows more production. Just as I said before, if you look high at the blades, there's nothing in its way to mess it up or cause it to slow down. All they do is capture wind. And so people will think windmills and wind turbines are the same thing, but they absolutely are not. A windmill can only power mechanical energy and not electricity. Wind turbines are way more evolved, and windmills were used way past generations. Windmills will stand up on a kind of pole with three blades to capture the wind to use it for energy and for mechanical energy. And so people ask, where does this energy go towards? Like, what's it used for? And so wind power can provide electricity or mechanical power to grinding grains, pumping water, homes, or even schools. It can power pretty much any building. So you can see two pictures below of what it could possibly be used for. And so, where did this all come from? Wind power has been used since the dawn of time. People used to power wind for sailing boats. The Chinese by AD 1200 created windmills to power their grain mills and water pumps. But by 1888, Charles F. Bush created the first wind turbine. Charles F. Bush was an entrepreneur and an engineer. He created the electrical grid as well and soon figured out how kinetic energy could power electricity. He created the first wind turbine, trying to get kinetic energy from the wind to power his electricity, and it worked. His invention worked, but soon figured out it was too short and needed stronger rotors for more wind power. So if you look at this picture in the right corner, you can see what the first wind turbine looked like. It was very big, but it wasn't that tall, and the the propellers weren't like really all there, and so it only lasted about like 10 years until it broke down. So, what are the pros of wind energy? With wind energy, it was a clean and renewable source. There's no way we can empty the energy source. Wind energy actually originates from wind energy actually originates from the nuclear fission process of the sun. So if the sun still shines, we still got our wind. Wind power produced about $7.4 billion in 2016 by cutting pollutants that create smog and affect asthma attacks along with other lung diseases. So people will always want to support that. Wind energy gave about 100,000 jobs in America and 25,000 manufacturing jobs because being a wind turbine technician is one of America's fastest growing jobs. For farmers, they are able to power their houses from a turbine and not pay for electricity or have rent to others, or they can rent to others to set up a wind turbine since they have so much land. In 2016, wind projects paid about $245 million to landowners for having wind turbines on their land. Wind turbines can be built anywhere. It does not matter the weather or what place of grounding, the ocean or land does not matter. Prices are also decreasing due to technological advances and increase of demand, and prices will continue to decrease. But there are some cons of wind energy. Wind is very unpredictable, and the availability of wind energy is not constant. Therefore, it will not be suited as a base load of energy source. If we had cost-effective ways of storing wind energy, it would be different. The cost of a wind turbine is very expensive compared to fossil fuels and coals. Fossil fuels and coals are way more cheaper, and some people might find that as a breaking point which fuel to use. For a wind turbine, it is about 40 to 70,000 and typically breaks between 10 to 20 years. And so if it breaks between the 10-year range, you're not getting your money's worth. It is a threat to wildlife. Animals such as birds, bats, or any other flying creature will die if it hits one of those turbine blades, but this does not occur often. But there is an estimation of animals that have died from U.S. wind turbines from 10,000 to 400,000. Having a wind turbine next to your house may create some noise as well, but nothing you cannot live with. But some people find it very, very irritating. So, wind energy in California. Wind energy plays a big role in California's electricity portfolio and in meeting the state's renewable portfolio standard RPS, which requires electric utilities to source 50% of retail sales from renewable sources by 2030. As of 2016, wind energy accounted for about 39% of California's renewable energy production for the RPS. Wind energy projects total about 5,644 megawatts of capacity in California and at the end of 2016, which powered about 2 million households in California. The number of megawatts represents more than a tripling of wind energy capacity since California's RPS law was adopted. Kern, Solano, and Riverside counties led the state in wind production. Majority of wind turbines are located in Altamont, East San Diego County, Pacheco, Solano, San Gorgonio, and Tehachapi. In California's modern wind turbines have grown 30 times larger and are a grid-friendly source of electricity. The cost of production has decreased nearly 40-fold since 1980 in California. And California's desert area are considered prime spots for wind farms, and in the final months of Obama's administration, a plan was finalized that set aside more than 10 million acres for conservation and recreation and design of clean energy development such as solar and wind projects. So, wind power in other countries. China is the largest wind energy production in the world. China has impressed the world by installing more wind power capacity in 2015 than the whole European Union. The main driving forces behind the development of wind energy is now to satisfy the electricity demand and reduce pollution. And the Chinese government estimates that the localization of wind turbine manufacturing brings benefits to the local economy and helps keep costs down. Moreover, since most good wind sites are located in remote and poor rural areas, wind farm construction benefits the local economy through an annual income tax paid to county governments, which represents a significant portion of their budget. As the business continues to boom, other European manufacturers will continue to do so as well. So what does the future hold for wind energy? People will look to reduce the cost of wind turbines as they are very expensive to build and to handle. Making turbines thinner and taller will be a factor in the future as well, because then they will be able to maintain their work, capture more kinetic energy, and take up less space, and so we will be able to build more turbines. To reduce investment costs, researchers are looking into the possibility of using offshore oil platforms that are nearing the end of their useful life, something that holds out considerable potential to plant wind turbines. A project is underway to build 200 wind turbines in the Beatrice oil field in water depths of 45 meters. Each turbine will be equipped with 60-meter blades built to withstand the North Sea winds. So this is my project right here about wind energy, and this is what our future holds and what they're doing now. And so if you have any questions, feel free to contact me via email or anything. And so thanks for watching.